Welcome to episode 46 of the Get Well With Me podcast. I am your host, Adrienne Hart, and here we focus on excellence, not perfection, and crafting the mindset that brings us the most health and the most happiness. And today I want to bring you my view from the back of the family station wagon in 1993. So there's 7 of us in the car, mom and dad in the front seat, and babies somewhere in the middle, and my brother and I in the trunk. Now, if you're from the 80s and 90s, you know, we weren't really in the trunk, but kind of we were in the trunk. All the stuff that's in the trunk was piled on top of us and all around us. And we're in the back of the station wagon, and we're looking out the glass hatchback window. We're coming home from Pennsylvania. Our first loss as kids, our first grief, and even harder watching our mother and her grief and her pain that began to rise to the surface, and all of those natural things that happen when someone loses a parent. So as we're on our way back from Pennsylvania after our adventure, and it was an adventure. I mean, how do you dress up 5 kids? I remember we had to go to Walmart the night before just to find clothes because, you know, it was an occasion and we all needed to have nice stuff, right? Nice shoes and outfits and all of that. And we're just, you know, kids from the woods with our holy jeans and dirty sneakers and whatever. So it was a big deal to get the whole family to this funeral and home. And I guess it was a relief to be on the way home, but everyone was drained and exhausted. And I'm looking out the back of this hatchback window, and I just see billboard after billboard of the camel and the Marlboro cowboy. And I'm losing my little 12-year-old mind thinking, did my grandfather just die of cigarettes? Don't people know that these cause cancer? Didn't we just watch him suffer in a way that you would never wish on another human being? And these billboards are making these cigarettes look like a good time and healthy, they're you're smoking a vitamin or something. Gonna have a pet camel in about 5 minutes. I'm looking at these billboards, and the little righteous anger was burning up inside of me, just like it does today. That little girl still lives right inside of me. Anyway, but I protect her with my big 39-year-old self. So all of this fire is just inside of me, and I make a declaration that I'm going to write a letter to these cigarette companies, give them a piece of my mind, and let them know that this is harmful and they shouldn't be allowed to advertise in this way. Right? I just wanted to fix it. And my dad chimes in and he says, "Don't bother. That's like pissing in the wind." I don't know if he exactly said that, but they're his words. So pretty much that was the message I got. And my mom said, "Don't say that, AJ. Oh, Rosebud, if you want to write a letter, you write that letter. That's wonderful." She just didn't want that spirit to be crushed or that spark to be snuffed out. But my dad, he didn't want me to waste my time because he was being real and he was being honest. I think the appropriate thing to say would be to a child, "You know what? If you want to stick it to the man, then you grow up and you be a non-smoker." Now, of course, I can see that really was the essence of what my dad was telling me. It's good to take action, but we just need to know, where does it make a difference? Am I leading the revolution with my 12-year-old letter to the cigarette companies? No. Was it going to make me feel better? Perhaps. Do the things that we do make a difference? Sometimes, especially if they're directed at ourselves. At the end of the day, it all comes back to when you hear these voices loop around and around. what can snuff out that loop? I mean, to this day, when I sit down to record a podcast, don't bother. It's just worthless. Nobody cares. Empowering people to use their inner minds to wake up and realize that they are where their attention is, to empower someone that they can make their body a place that cancer does not want to live. And I can't tell you how all the times that I can't kind of bring myself to sit down and verbalize the message that's welling up inside of me, it's because I tell myself a story that it doesn't matter. The world has gone to shit, and trying is like pissing in the wind. But the truth is that that's just a lie that I tell myself. And the truth is that it all comes back to that serenity prayer. That, dear God, give us the serenity to accept what we cannot change, and the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I mean, come on. Can I get an amen? When you say that prayer, you realize that what you're supposed to be changing isn't anyone else. It's yourself. It's showing up. It's showing up. It's focusing on making positive changes in your life. It's sticking it to the man by not being a smoker when you grow up. So I hope that this message has empowered and encouraged you. And I hope that you'll take a moment to think, maybe something comes up for you. Maybe there's a moment that plays back in your mind from your childhood where you wanted to make a difference, and then you feel like your flame was snuffed out. And maybe perhaps I'm not the only one that goes around in this loop in my mind. But by being aware of the loop, we can interrupt the pattern. We can see things differently. And I hope that this was helpful for you today. I am sending you so much love, and stay tuned for a word from our sponsor. Before I go, I want to say thank you for all the love that you've been showing to the podcast with all your listens and reviews. You mean the world to me, and I take your encouragement to heart. This episode was brought to you by Uncommon Knowledge Hypnosis Downloads. My closest friends know that I have a secret weapon for getting what I want, and it's hypnosis audio programs. When I discovered the power of hypnosis recordings more than 20 years ago, they were on cassette tape, and I had to flip them over halfway through. So thankfully, in 2021, it's as simple as clicking play and closing my eyes. Modern technology. Falling asleep at night to a hypnosis program playing in my ears has not only been the key to drifting off easily, but to waking up more rejuvenated. And no doubt it's by far the fastest way to make any lasting changes in my life. In the past, I've used hypnosis downloads for anti-anxiety, healthy eating, workplace performance, to make me into a morning person, to enjoy cleaning, increase my self-confidence, have the motivation to exercise, and even to make childbirth easier. Yes, hypnosis can do all that, because it's actually you deciding to intentionally reprogram your mind that happens to run your life. And most recently, I noticed that procrastination was causing me to waste precious, non-refundable time. So I went on a quest to find my answer. That's when I discovered the trustworthy and professional team of hypnotists at Uncommon Knowledge. They're based in the UK, and they put ethics first. They even have a 90-day money-back guarantee to prove it. The quality of their hypnosis recordings absolutely speaks for themselves. Thousands of people have experienced immediate and noticeable results from listening to hypnosis downloads, and I am one of those people. So I was over the moon to find out that my podcast would be a perfect fit for a sponsor like Uncommon Knowledge. You might think it's priceless to program your mind for the body and life that you desire, and especially priceless to not even have to pick up the phone and make an appointment, to just simply put on some headphones while you're comfy and cozy in your own recliner at home. But There is a price, and it's far less than you're thinking. For about the same amount as you would spend on your lunch, you can have the tool that you need to free yourself from misery, move towards clarity so that you can take action. Maybe you want to stop biting your nails or sleep better, or quit smoking, or stop procrastinating. What's your thing? Could now be the time to get out of your own way and hold the door open for yourself? You can do that by checking out the incredible selection of hypnosis downloads. There's a link in the show notes, or you can find it at adriennehart.com. Until next time, much love.